nation throughout, a shouting match in the morning, off-camera gaggle between one correspondent and the press secretary.
Sure.
And this is one of these things where you wonder where the sense of proportion in the media has gone. I mean, the vice president had this hunting accident. This man was injured, but his life was not in danger. It was obviously an accident, no reason to believe otherwise. There are no issues of state involved here. The national security, the health of the vice president, none of these things were in jeopardy, was in jeopardy. And so you wonder why all the fuss. Now, it's possible to imagine a circumstance in which something would happen that really would make a potential difference. And if the White House didn't let it be known for a day or so, that'd be a real scandal. One wonders if that's what this is.
Yeah. Hey, Britt, on the right-hand side of the screen, I'm sure you have a monitor in front of you there. One of the jokes coming out of today, I think it might have been Scott McClellan's joke. Well, at least at this event, most people will have orange on in case the vice president shows up, the colors of the University of Texas. But you've probably been to this event many times. Why does the president do this?
He does this because it's exciting and fun for the players on these championship teams to be honored by being invited to the White House and congratulated personally by the president. He also does it because presidents and other politicians as well benefit from their association with sports teams and championship sports teams in particular. And it's a moment for the president to appear in a loose and relaxed atmosphere and show that he's a regular guy. And all presidents have done this. Reagan was a real master at it. He was very relaxed. And, he dribbled a basketball, I remember one year, and he looked like, he was at home doing that and so forth. So it's a good setting for a president. It's a nice photo op, and everybody seems to enjoy it, so they do it.
The president is also pretty happy with the team. I mean, there's a lot of alumni in the White House.
Team.
Yeah, Laura Bush, I think, got her master's degree in library science. Exactly. Very quickly, Britt, back to the other issue. Should the vice president come in? No, please, you take your time. You take your time, Britt. Let me just keep Mike quiet. Should the vice president come out and say something rather than having the office speak for him, the press office?
I don't know. It doesn't. The truth is that this is really as much ado about not very much, and the vice president might be able to dispel this a little bit if he came out and said something, but there's no other reason for him to do so, but he may anyway. He's going to be up on the Hill today. We're all kind of watching to see if he'll come out and say something. I will say this, there's no doubt about one thing. He will never live this down. I mean, this will be a part of the lore of Cheney and the subject of jokes.
Why don't you interrupt your boyfriend?
Hey, Britt, we're going to have to interrupt you. The president, and he's the only one I would interrupt you for, is speaking.
So he has an orange tie on. Here we go.
Welcome to the White House. January 4th, 2006 is a day that a lot of Texas fans will never forget. I called one of those Texas fans who shall remain anonymous. I said, "How was it?" He said, "That game was the greatest day in my life." I said, "Well, how about your wedding?" He said, "Yeah, that too." I want to welcome Mac and Sally Brown here. Congratulations, Coach, for doing something that leading this group of great athletes to a victory that made a lot of Texans proud. I know you made a person you admire proud. A fellow I wish were here today, but he's not, and that's Coach Darrell Royal. We send Coach Royal we send him our very best, and you're following in his footsteps. It's you've learned something about the press, and all due respect to those that are here, they tend to underestimate people sometimes. I remember they started calling you Mr. February. Well, today, Mac, you're giving February the title Mr. February, a whole new meaning. This February, you brought the national champs to the White House. As you can see, you've brought out a lot of folks here to the South Lawn. We've never had quite a celebration this big here, and it's because there's a lot of Texas fans living here in Washington, but we've got some of the university officials with us. Mr. President, Bill Powers, it's good to see you, sir. I appreciate you coming, and your wife, Kim. It's good to see Mark Udolph and Judy, as well as Samara. Good to see you all again. I see the members of the Board of Regents, James Huffines and Rita Clements, and other members of the board. Thank you for being here. DeLoss Dodds, I appreciate you doing a fine. There he is. Hi, DeLoss. Yes, sir. I want to congratulate the coaching staff. One of the members of the staff has had an influence on my life. I might ask him to come up here. Oh, yeah. Mad Dog.
That's right. Thank you very much.
My body is what it is today because of Mad Dog.
That's right.
I appreciate you. He told me one day, he said, if you ever make it to Washington,
Right.
I promise you, Mr. President, I'm coming up there with a team of champions, and he did.
Very good.
Congratulations, brother. I didn't know you owned a suit.
Oh, yeah. I'd get one made.
I didn't know they had one big enough. But Jeff is, yeah.
You can say that, y'all can say that.
One reason the Mighty Horns are here is because they were in good shape. And they were tough, and they were in good condition. And the reason they were was because of Jeff Madden and his belief in them as athletes and his willingness to work hard to get them in shape. And so you guys keep listening to him. I want to thank the members of my cabinet who are with us today. We appreciate you being here. I want to thank the members of Congress. Senator Hutchison is a huge Texas fan, as well as members of the House of Representatives. Thank you all for being here to welcome this great football team. Get back to work here quickly. Matt can tell you what it takes to win, but one thing it takes is a team of great athletes playing together. That's how you win national championships. I suspect it's the difference between showing up and, winning all but two and showing up and winning them all, is that people figure out how to put something greater than themselves on the line. In this case, the University of Texas football team, this was a team that great power, great finesse. They were real quick. But the thing that impressed me about the team, and we can follow you here in Washington, D.C. just as well we can follow you in Crawford, is that this team never seemed that they never figured out the word lose. It never entered their vocabulary. I mean, every time they walked on the field, you knew they were going to win. And perhaps one of the reasons why is because they were winners off the field as well. I'm impressed by Armand Hall, who's the fullback. He there he is. He, I don't know if you know this or not, but he was a United States Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. He served in Afghanistan and Kosovo. He entered the University of Texas on the GI Bill. He's not only a fine blocker, you need to get him the ball more.
That's what he said.
He started something called Mama Bear Cares, which sends packages to our troops overseas. Congratulations on being a great player, but more importantly, a great citizen. Mike Garcia is with us. Where's Mike? There he is. Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same side. Mike was involved in the Children's Miracle Network last spring. I take it you weren't a wide receiver. Yeah.
Try out.
The point is that this guy was good in the trenches of football, and he's good in the trenches of life by supporting people who need our help. We've got some other, I don't know if you want to call them big uglies or not, but Casey Studdard and Neil Tweedy and David Thomas. What are those guys? Come on up here.
Come on up, guys.
Neil.
Mr. President, this is Casey.
Yeah.
David Thomas.
The reason we'll wait on Neil come down here.
Come on, Neil.
The reason these three guys are here, Will Allen was supposed to be with them, but I think he missed the flight. Yeah, slept in. But or study hall. These fellas took time out of their lives to go to the Austin Children's Hospital to bring some joy into a kid's life. It might have frightened them when they first saw you, but my point to you is that a championship football team is made up of people of character and decency. One final athlete I want to recognize is, of course, Vince Young, the great quarterback, who oh, sorry, he doesn't need a suit.
Come on. You're supposed to bring it. Uncle forgot.
Yeah, you can borrow a tie. I think Vince will tell you that the reason he's got to where he is today is because of his teammates. One reason why Vince got to where he is as well is because he understands that the role of a star is to put something back in the community in which you're raised. I was impressed by his being involved in a program called LEAP, which means learn, enjoy, and play. It's basically a chance for somebody like Vince to go in and say to to a young child, here's what it takes to succeed in life. It's called mentoring. And all these athletes, whether they know it or not, are mentoring by the way they behave, by the example they set for young kids all across Texas and all across the country. I want to congratulate Coach and Sally for setting the examples they set for these players. They're instrumental in what's called the Rise School in Austin. It's a school that helps infants and toddlers and preschool children with developmental disabilities. They're very much involved with the capital campaign for the Helping Hands in Austin. They, like these players, are good citizens. I also want to say congratulations to the coach for not only being having a good football team, being able to raise these young men to butt heads harder than the other ones around the country. But nearly half the team earned a spot on the UT Athletic Director's honor roll for posting a 3.0 grade point average last fall. This team won a lot of football games and won the national championship, but of the 32 seniors on the team, 28 will have earned their degrees by the end of this summer, and one of those who hadn't quite earned it yet made a promise to his mother. And Vince, I suggest you honor that promise to your mother and get your degree by the end of this summer, which I know he will. All in all, we're honored to have a great group of individuals, people who brought great pride to our state and pride to a great university.
Bush congratulating the UT Longhorns. We've got a Longhorn out here in the audience.
Yeah,
where is she?
Very proud Longhorn right there in the audience.
Congratulations, my dear. Film and journalism, that's what her degree was.